Welcome to The Creative Cure, the podcast that explores questions related to creativity and the mental health of creative artists. Whether you're a writer, musician, visual artist, or something else entirely, I'd like to offer you tips and resources for improving your mental health as a creative artist, help you to find your flow and overcome creative blocks, maybe look at the ups and downs of being a creative artist in today's world, and also in general advocate for the importance of art and mental health. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. My name is Petra Borzinski, and I'm a psychotherapist, vocal coach, and writer. And in a former life, I also used to be a geoscientist, but that would lead too far here. But we would maybe brush on these topics about identity and self-doubt and so on and so forth in some of the episodes. And this podcast is essentially a companion podcast to a newsletter I run on Substack, which is called The Creative Cure. I'll put some info about that in the show notes, because I thought maybe some of you would just rather listen than read. So what I'm essentially doing with this one is do more or less of a readout of what I offer in my newsletter. And I would like to explore how art and creativity can help you cope with things like stress, anxiety, depression, and many other mental health challenges, but also how our creativity and everything that comes with it can sometimes feel like the very root of our struggles. And the idea is to talk about a specific topic on a fortnightly schedule, and I'm going to break it down as follows. We have a section called The Topic, which is pretty much, speaking for itself. It's an intro into what that particular episode will be about. Then we have the myth, in which I will talk about a common myth related to a mental health or creativity topic and whether that myth holds true or not. Then we have the exploration, where I will either ask interesting questions or give you something you can explore or chew on till the next episode lands. And if you would like to hear from me weekly, because this podcast will only air fortnightly, this podcast alternates with another podcast that's called The Sandman Shadow Truths, in which I explore mental health and creativity through a storytelling lens, in this case through Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. I can put a bit of info about that into the show notes, and will maybe also give you more info about that in one of the next podcasts. So just take this as an invitation to join me in discovering the creative cure, because in all honesty, despite being a psychotherapist, I still very much ask myself many questions every day. And more often than not, I look for the answers like everyone else. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions or comments, the way to get in touch with me is also in the show notes for you. So let me know if you have any suggestions for future topics or issues.